living like a thief, and you stole the crown. Your lies keep piling up, and we watch them weigh you down. The fair agree that you stole, they run the whole fucking show. But we are not afraid, and we will not let go. The bigots rise, and you fan the flames. You build an empire of fear and pain. You're hand in hand with the billionaire scum, selling out this country while you play dumb. Burn it all down! Tear the walls apart! We will not bow! We will not lose heart! We will put an end to the hate! We will put an end to your lies! We will stand side by side! And we will You think these cages are built for the poor and for the weak, for the families torn apart while you laugh and tweet? Look at the puppets dance to the corporate sound, but we are still here and we will stand our ground! There's blood on your hands! We have seen the truth erased! You put the prophets first! Instead of the people you've displaced. History is watching, and it won't soon forget. It may not be you this time, but you can soon be next. Burn it all down, tear the walls apart. We will not bow, we will not lose heart. We will put an end to the hate, we will put an end to your lies. We will stand side by side, and we will rise! Burn it all down! Tear it all apart! Burn it all down! Tear it all apart! Burn it all down! Tear it all apart! Lies on the screen from the deadline machine! Burn it all down! They killed the American dream! Go play an escalator, a tower built on decay. Smiling like a tyrant while the world fades away. Fear and hate is the name of your game. Divide the people and shift all the blame. The truth is dead, you sold them for fame. History won't forget your name. Fake empire, built on greed. Fascist clown, watch it bleed! Break the chains! Fight the fire! Dethrone the king! Take it higher! Broke into cases! You've got blood on your hands! Worship the dollar while you ignore our demands! We storm the gates! Our rage is fueled by your lies! We will sit back and watch as your empire crumbles and dies! Fear and hate is the name of your game! Divide the people and shift all the blame! The truth is dead, you sold them for fame! History won't forget! Nay, nay! Fake empire! Built on greed! Fascist clown! Watch it bleed! Break the chains! Fight the fire! Dethrone the king! Take it higher! we fear. We fight back. Hardcore, counterattack. Fake empire going down. No more kings for the crown. Justice call. Hear the sound. Rise up now and stand your ground. All out. Promises right. Promises right. On a gilded stage, dividing the people, fueling the rage. Walls built high, but compassion's low. Truth buried deep beneath the show. No more lies, no more deceit. We will bow down, we will retreat. Voices loud, we stand as one. The fight's not over, it's just begun. It's just begun. Families torn at the borderline. Justice denied, time after time. Prophet's soul on the planet burns. When will we learn? When will we learn? No more lies, no more deceit. We will bow down, we will retreat. Voices loud, we stand as one. The fight's not over, it's just begun. It's just begun! It's just begun! Resist the power and break the chain! Rise above all this hate and this pain! Together we're strong, we won't divide! In our unity we will find our pride! The fight's not over! It's just begun! 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 The fight's not over! Whispers turn to battle cries. The truth is dead, they bend to lies. They sell us lies in the name of peace. What justice rots beneath the leash. They write the laws just to serve the few. We bleed beneath the red, white, and blue. But freedom's fire still burns inside, where truth and treason often collide. So raise your voice and raise your fist. We are the storm that they can't dismiss. No more kings and no more crowns. We are the ones who will burn it down. The tree of liberty must feed on the patriots who dare to bleed. The tyrants tremble when freedom rings. We are the roots and we will bring the thunder rolling through the land. With fire in our hearts and blood on our hands. No peace without the will to fight. No dawn choke in the courts of line, and American justice lags a decade behind. So strike the drum and light the flame. Each beating soul will rise again. The people's wrath is a sacred flood. The soil drains deep the martyr's blood. So raise your voice and raise your fist. We are the storm that they can't dismiss. No more kings and no more crowns. We are the ones who will burn it down. The tree of liberty must feed on the patriots who dare to bleed. The tyrants tremble when freedom rings. We are the roots and we will bring the thunder rolling through the land. With fire in our hearts and blood on our hands. Not for glory, not for gold, but for the stories that were never told. For every voice that they tried to drown, we will plant the flag and hold our ground. So raise your voice and raise your fist. We are the storm that they can't resist. No more kings and no more crowns. We are the ones who will burn it down. The tree of liberty must grow with the blood that only the brave know. And if we should fall, then we fall as one beneath the rising blood-red sun. The tyrants will fall, and the people will rise, because freedom never truly dies. They build their towers in the sky, hoarding wealth while the workers die. Billionaires with blood-stained hands, trampling lives to expand their brand. They say they earned it, they say it's fair, but they only take while we despair. Their pockets are fat and their hearts are cold. Working ourselves to death makes them more bold. But now the time has come for the people to rise up. We will never bow, we will never kneel. We see our lives and we know the deal. You hoard the wealth, you crush the poor. We're coming for you, you capitalist whore. This land is your land, this land is my land. We will fight side by side and hand in hand. The system is rigged, it's all just a game. The rich pull the strings, the poor take the blame. Wealth hoarders live in mansions, the people live in chains. The billionaires don't care, they cash in on our pay. Luxury is a cage that's been built on the backs of the common workers that they keep under attack. But we the people, we've had it rough. Their empire is fragile, we've had enough. And now the time has come for the people to rise up. We will never bow, we will never kneel. We see our lives, and we know the deal. You hoard the wealth, you crush the poor. We're coming for you, you only got whore. This land is your land, this land is my land. We will fight side by side and hand in hand. No more silence, no more living in fear, no more being divided, no more broken man's tears. Don't try to keep us down. You are not our king. In every city and every town, let motherfucking freedom ring. Because the time has come for the people to rise up. We will never bow, we will never kneel. We see our lies and we know the deal. You hoard your wealth, you crush the poor. We're coming for you, you capitalist whore. This land is your land, this land is my land. We will fight side by side and hand in hand. It's better to die standing on your feet than living a lie down on your knees. It's better to die standing on your feet than living a lie down on your knees. We signed up to fight for freedom, not to be the boots on the necks of Americans. You used us, you lied to us, and now we're coming to square the account. Get fucked and die mad about it! And me Big Tip 360, bitch! We wear the scars, we bear the pain. We watched our friends die in blood and blade. You said that we fought for liberty, but we came home to fight hypocrisy. You turned a rifle around our peace. You crushed dissent, you unleashed police. You sent us in just to guard your throne. You turned the streets into a combat zone. No one wants to know. Not in this fight, we are alive. Whether it's day or night, no one wants to know. This ain't no game. There is only one true, we are the same. You armored up and sent the troops to beat down kids and protest groups, to guard the banks, protect the suits, so that they can't keep us under their boots. You wave the flag like it's unbred, but we remember every single bet that you left to run, alone and discarded, while CEOs got golden parachute parties. Anyone walks alone, not in this fight, we are the light. Whether it's day or night, no one walks alone. This ain't no game. There is only one true, we are the same. To every citizen still asleep, wake the fuck up! To my fellow veterans, remember your oath! Our freedom is dying right beneath our eyes! The people in charge tell us nothing but lies. The common people starve while billionaires see, and we're the ones tossed out in the street. Let's eat the rich, let's make them pay their share. Paying their taxes is a burden they can bear. Make billionaires right again! Not in this fight, we are the light. Whether it's day or night, no one walks alone. This ain't no game. There is only one truth. We are the same. No one walks alone. Not in this fight, we are the light. Whether it's day or night, no one walks alone. This ain't no game. There is only one truth. We are the same. No one walks alone. I got something for you. Hang on to your asses. Towers, velvet ropes, behind the mask, a vulture chokes, power suits and dirty hands, wag the dog in desert sands, victims screaming into voids while kings play gods with broken toys, airbrush lies on every screen. What the hell does justice mean? Lock room, VIP, predator in a crowd walking free, blood on the floor, hurt trooping chains. How many more gonna scream in vain? You built your throne on broken laws. Now you're scared, you know what you saw. Silence bought with piles of cash. Erase the files, burn the trash. Martial law for damage control. Draft the bar to hide your soul. Wanna light the world on fire just to dodge the light trip wire. History is a loaded gun. Tick, 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 you better run. Lock room, VIP, predator in a crowd walking free. Blood on the floor, hurt trooping chains. How many more gonna scream in vain? Your kingdom stinks with every name. You'll kill us all to dodge the blame. This ain't conspiracy, it's confession. Hidden in plain sight, full suppression. You laugh while the system bleeds, but the streets remember what you need. Truth bears a cry. You just spare the time when the lights come by. Your ass is mine. Locked room, VIP. No more secrets, no more gates. Cracked across your marble floor. Truth is kicking down your door. I said I'm young and believe the vow. Stars and stripes, I wear them now. Trained to fight and trained to lead. Wore the flag like it was all I need. I went to war, that was my goal. Buried brothers filling bullet holes. Did what I had to cause that was the cost. I came home proud but broken and lost. The other party used me and threw me away. Now I see through the games they play. They wrapped their lives in red, white, blue, but the blood on my hands was never for you. It was never for you. They said freedom, they said truth, but fed me hate since I was a youth. Republican dreams, conservative pride, just uniforms for the greed they hide. Where were they when the VA failed? When my friends came home and we all derailed? Where were they when we screamed in pain? Too busy chasing power and gain. All the party used me and threw me away. Now I see through the games they play. You bring support to wave your flags while you turn your backs on body bags. Don't turn your back on the fallen. You say that I betrayed you. I bled for this country. What did you ever do? You cheered for war. Then you ran from the wounded. I see who the traitors really are now! I gave my all, you gave me lies. Soldiers die while your empire thrives. Call me woke, call me lost. You never paid the fucking cost. And the party used me and threw me away. But I won't be silent one more day. I fight again, not for your pride, but for every soul you left behind. The party used me and threw me away. But I won't be silent one more day. Justice ain't red, justice ain't blue. It's the truth, and it's coming for you! Marching down the street with your MAGA flag, spitting serpent's lies while you're waving that rag, screaming freedom while you chain the weak. It makes me sick every time you speak. Beneath your cross, behind your screen, you sold your soul for a fascist dream. Keyboard warrior that don't know pain, a cultist clown whose leader's insane. You are a king, not a constitution. You crave control, not a revolution. But you lick the boots, you're a rich man's pawn. You say you're free, but your freedom's gone. You're not with us, you're a fucking disease. You live in fear, spend life on your knees. Try to own the limbs, but you just don't regret. You fake your fate, now you choke on the dead. The party of law and order, but you storm the hill. You back the blue except when you're out to kill. You wave a gun in your neighbor's face. Fake ass patriot, you're a fucking disgrace. History watch while you took your stand. We saw what you did all across this land. American patriots don't kneel to a king. You're a fucking simp sucking that cinnamon ring. You are a king, not a constitution. You crave control, not a revolution, but you lick the boots. You're a rich man's pawn. You say you're free, but your freedom's gone. You're not with us. You're a fucking disease. You live in fear. Spend life on your knees, trying to own the limbs, but you just don't regret. You faked your fate, now you choke on the dead. You traded your hood for a MAGA hat. The mark of the beast, you believe in that. You don't believe the words that you shout. You chant just to drown out the doubt. You were born to lose and you still started this game. The fire is coming and we are the flame. We're gonna tear it down, bury it 6 foot deep, and we'll never forget that you're a sheep. You are a king, not a constitution. You break control, not a revolution, but you lick the boots. You're a rich man's pawn. You say you're free, but your freedom's gone. You're not with us. You're a fucking disease. You live in fear. Spend life on your knees, trying to own the limbs, but you just don't regret. You faked your fate, now you choke on the dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 26, 47. 1, 2. He wraps himself in red, white, blue, and lies. Makes NDOs and louder basses boast. He stalks the fire, civil reason dies, and feeds the walls of monkey loyal hoes. He plays for strong and black as foreign ghosts. The sirens feast and tear freedom for stealth. His throne is built on smoking shit posts. He sold us out to buy a gilded crown. Lady liberty, let truth come down. Expose the rapists who tried to drag you down. Let history brand and not with any renown. He sold us out to buy a gilded crown. He scores people who bled for law and land, and praises the mob that stormed the sacred floor. A coward's grin, a scepter in his hand. He chooses chaos, shatters every door. His pledges rock the meaning nevermore. He traded the truth of treason, gained renown, and still he begs for power, blood, and war. He sold us out to buy a gilded crown. Oh, Lady Liberty, let truth come down. Expose the rapists who tried to drag you down. Let history brand him, not with any renown. He sold us out to buy a gilded crown. He turns his back while tyrannies grow bold. He whispers secrets where the hawk should warn, and all for what? Some towers fake and gold. A name embalmed in scandal, loud and worn. No martyr here, just falling to be mourned. A fraud and silken jester in a gown. The gospel's house for shame we won't adorn. He sold us out to buy a gilded crown. Lady Liberty, let truth come down. Expose the rapists who tried to drag you down. Let history brand him, not with any renown. He sold us out to buy a gilded crown. Oh, Lady Liberty, we let you down. Oh, Lady Liberty, we let you down.
Now it's time for the throw punch! outstanding in his field. It's the best dad joke that ever existed. I swear to God. Also, the name of a seminal punk album.
It's actually a personal favorite in our family too. The outstanding is field joke. You're not the only one that loves that.
Taylor Wettach. Am I pronouncing your last name correctly?
Yeah, that's right. My ancestors, when they came over from Switzerland, really screwed that one up because they changed the Americanized part of it from a V to a W at the front, but they forgot to change the back part. So now everyone gets it wrong, except for you. Strangely, you're the only one that gets it right. So I respond to anything, but I appreciate you figuring that one out because most people don't.
In the interest of full disclosure, I asked your team how to pronounce your last name, and they provided me pronunciation. However, in my defense, I also read that like several hours ago, and I was like, oh, I can remember that. And then I said it, and I was like, oh, no.
Well, you were a very kind man because when we launched the campaign and it came out of nowhere, the television broadcasters definitely did not ask my team about that. So anyway, now we got all kinds of fun names to respond to, and I respond to all of them. So grateful for your kindness.
All right. So welcome to the Sons of Liberty live stream. We've been having, is there something going on in Iowa where like everybody has suddenly decided, hey, every candidate needs to get it? Because you are probably the sixth person from Iowa that we've had either on the stream or is scheduled to be on the stream.
Well, yeah, something in the water. Not a lot of good things in the water right now, but yeah, no, but really, it does feel like people are waking up. It really feels like there is a sort of moment where you are seeing people that wouldn't have came out maybe 2 years ago to an indivisible rally, people that said their whole lives that they were Republicans, lifelong independents, who said, you know what, this really sucks, and we need to step up and speak out, otherwise nothing's going to change. And I think you're seeing that too in people coming out of the woodwork, as it were, the proverbial woodwork, running for Congress, running for Senate. A lot of people, I think, who are feeling really fed up with what's happening and feel like if they don't put themselves in the line, they're going to look back and say, well, I could have done something and I didn't do it. So here we are.
So for those of you that don't have any idea who are, actually, I'm going to let you introduce yourself because, as I like to say, who knows you better than you?
Very kind of you. I'm Taylor Wettach. I'm a seventh generation Iowan, was born and raised in a town called Muscatine, Iowa. It's a town about 25,000 people on the Mississippi River. Became attorney, hoping to really do some good in the world. Had phenomenal public school teachers that encouraged me to go out, learn things, try to do some things with it. Had actually been recruited to go into government, was recruited to go in to protect American economic security. It was my dream role that I've been looking forward to doing. And unfortunately, the orange guy came back in and he invited his buddy at the time, the overgrown Silicon Valley intern, Elon Musk, in. And I got caught up in the Doge freezes. And then I was still at my law firm, and I was at this firm that got targeted by Trump. Trump went after us because he disagreed with the work of some folks, including folks that were working on voters' rights or working on refugee rights like I was doing. And unfortunately, they caved to Trump's bullying and cut a deal to do $125 million worth of free legal work. I disagree with that. I thought it was screwed up that right now we're having all these lawyers who are the most powerful lawyers in the country. They're not fighting back. I think we need to have more people stepping up right now. And if those people can't fight back, I don't know how other people can. So I quit the firm, came back home, been working with local folks, trying to help Dems do better around where I'm from, do better in rural areas, do better with younger folks. People say, well, you spent your career negotiating with some of the most powerful people out there in the world, some of these scary people. You advise folks in Congress on issues like tariffs, and you stood up to Trump. Would you consider jumping in? So we jumped in the race, and it's been a great race since then. And we've been nonstop, making sure we listen to everybody's voices, making sure we get out to everywhere in the district.
So you mentioned that you worked at a law firm. Which and that law, it was not a government agency, right? It's just a
It was a
regular
law
like
firm.
civilian, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So it was a big law firm called Simpson, Thacher and Bartlett. So graduated from law school. Like everybody who's not the child of billionaires, I came out with 6 figures of debt. Went to a law firm to go ahead and hopefully eventually be able to get into the public service and actually get engaged and fight for my community. Was lucky to be able to work there, and but unfortunately at the same time, I saw how there were folks there and folks in the legal community who at large who were not willing to stand up, and I felt like it was time to actually step up, put up and shut up, and get in the ring and fight.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
How's it going? Thanks for the chance to be here with you guys.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. So I'm sorry I'm late. Fashionably late is how I do it. It's how I do it. So
this is Doug. He is one of the fellow Sons of Liberty admins.
Nice to meet you, Doug.
Nice to meet you too. Just rushing in here. But so I missed whatever was said before.
It's not important.
But I do always appreciate when I hear about lawyers or people who study law with the focus or the actual goal not being to make the most money possible in a private firm, but to go into public service. When did you decide that? Was that during being in law? Was that afterwards? Was that something you've always kind of just had a heart for?
Yeah, I knew I always wanted to get in public service. I knew I always wanted to serve my community, serve my country. Grew up, my mom was a preschool teacher helping out in our community. Dad was a family doctor, really trying to dedicate his life to making sure folks, no matter where they were, including rural areas, were able to get access to care. I grew up, with those examples. Was an Eagle Scout, was student representative of the school board, and believed in a world where everybody looks out for everybody. Right. That's why I'm a Democrat. I have a reason why I'm a Democrat. Sometimes Democrats do not make that commitment, but I think that I'm a Democrat because we should look out for everybody, and if we all look out for everybody, we'll all be better off. So I had that background, and really wanted to find a way to give back at some point in my life. Became an attorney because I wanted to do that, because I knew that as an attorney I could fight for justice for others. I knew that with those skills I'd be able to step up and fight and stand up against the abuse of powerful actors in our country, be it big powerful corporations or be it this crazy government we have right now. And I'm excited to get in the fight. Excited to put everything that I've learned into play and actually make sure that I'm doing everything I can to fight for people. That's how my community raised me, and that's how I'm going to fight for my community.
It's awesome. Absolutely awesome.
When I understand there's a primary that's eventually coming up in June or July, I think.
There is a primary. For the first time in God knows how long in this district, there is going to be a primary.
In the interest of full disclosure, and I only realized this morning when I was looking at the every time we have a guest, I kind of go back through and shuffle the list that I have just to kind of remove people who have already been on, and then I update the graphic that we have for our live stream, and I realized that we are actually interviewing what I believe is every Democratic candidate in the District 1. So I'm like, wait a minute, these are all the same guys from the same district.
Well, good. You should interview all of us, make sure we get everybody's voices out there. That was a big reason why I jumped in, right? Because the way that this had been done before in this district was that we didn't actually have a real nomination process effectively, right? We had a coronation, as it were, where Democrats decided there was going to be a candidate. We were going to actually just run that candidate forward. We've done that a couple times, and we're running against Marionette Miller Meeks, who is the third most vulnerable Republican in the House. And it's going to take, I think, something else, right? But I think at the end of the day, most of all, it's going to take having a real democratic conversation, a real debate, getting all the voices out there. We've seen what happens when, Democratic Party elites in Washington decide how we're going to do things and not let people actually have a say in it. It doesn't work out well. It's also the wrong way to do things. If we're going to get the Democratic Party back on track, I'm preaching the choir here, but we got to get back to real democracy, have real primaries, competitive primaries, real competition, and have the decisions being made by folks where they're living because they know what's best, not by DC elites.
So
What
go ahead.
I was going to ask, when you said that Representative Marianne Miller Weeks, I think I got the name right,
Marianne
is
Miller.
the third most vulnerable candidate. What is it that makes that candidate vulnerable?
Well, I mean, she takes away healthcare away from 66,000 folks in our district and is about to close 4 rural hospitals. That's part of it. But she has a history of being vulnerable. I mean, she ran once, she ran twice, she ran 3 times, was rejected by Iowan voters before she won by 6 votes in 2020 when the Democrat who held the seat decided not to run again. She won in 2020 in the closest U.S. House race since 1984. So she is, she's not a popular candidate to start with. And basically at this point, because she's done things like take away healthcare away from people, done things like promote an economy where, it's really a situation in Iowa where we're the last for GDP growth in the country right now. She's promoting an economy where billionaires and powerful corporations get handouts and everyone else gets left behind. So she's even more and more vulnerable. And the thing is, that has made her cling to Trump. She's going to have to cling to Trump in order to get through this election, theoretically. But this is also not a Trumpy district. This is a district where it's a real swing district. It's a place where, it's about 50-50 Democrat, Republican. And there's a real demand, I think, for fighters and for leaders that will stand up against what's going on right now. But frankly, even among a lot of Republicans and independents, a lot of people are frustrated seeing what's happening and are frustrated with the fact that Miller Meeks is taking away healthcare away from people, is wrecking our economy, is promoting these crazy tariffs that Trump is putting into effect that are so terrible for our farm economy, and also, frankly, supporting, the destruction of our democracy and the rule of law.
What's the makeup of District 1 like? I'm sorry, is it more rural? Is there cities there? What's the makeup like?
Yeah, it's pretty rural overall. Compared to some of Iowa, it's not as rural, but we have basically 2 blue dots in the district. We have Iowa City and Johnson County area, and then we have Scott County and Davenport and Bettendorf are cities within there. It's part of the Quad Cities urban area that bridges Iowa and Illinois. Then you have a series of sort of medium-sized towns along the river, places like where I'm from, Muscatine, Burlington, Clinton, places like that, where Democrats actually traditionally did pretty well. And back in the day, Democrats would win in those spots. And it wasn't even that long ago when Democrats were doing that. But basically, Democrats sort of given up on, I think, doing as well as they could have in a lot of these places. That was a big motivation for me to get in, was seeing Democrats not engaging as much in places like where I'm from, in Muscatine, in your Clintons, in your Burlingtons, where we know that we can do a lot better. And where we know that, if we have the kind of campaign that is actually speaking up for folks in Iowa and not being driven by, kind of machine dem attitudes, that we can do a lot better with folks. So it's a mix between urban, rural areas, leading rural, lots of small, medium-sized towns. And, frankly, a lot of people that feel like they've been left behind and are looking for people to step up.
Okay. I thought you had something to say, Tim. I'm sorry. I keep going.
No, you know what? I was just, I don't think we've ever asked anybody what the makeup of their district is. I think it's the first time.
Good question.
Yeah, it's
well, what I was going to say is, to that point, I think, it's a good question because obviously, in addition to the nature of whether Republican, Democrat, that sort of thing, there is a lot of policy differences, right? And in our area, one thing that we're really focused on is rural revival. We have seen Republicans and maybe some others as well who aren't Republican just disregard a lot of these rural areas and treat rural areas as place that you take from and you don't invest in. So we're really focused on those rural areas and the fact that folks have not been paying enough attention supporting them. We rolled out our rural revival plan 2-3 weeks ago. It is, in our race, the only comprehensive plan focused on rebooting the economy, rebooting healthcare, rebooting education, rebooting the environment in rural areas. And we think that that's the kind of attitude too, right? Because folks are getting really screwed over in terms of their economic options, right? Where we're going to be able to not just pull in Democrats, but pull in folks who are independents and Republicans in those areas that are tired of having an economy that just works for those in the top and leaves the rest of us behind.
The biggest problem though with the rural farming community, as I'm learning and I'm studying and it's real easy to start with, well, you got rid of USAID, you got rid of the tariffs, FAFO, right? But the other part of that is I'm just now learning that it's controlled by monopoly on seed, monopoly on equipment, monopoly on markets, right? So can you talk about that? Can you explain that to some people who don't know? And then how can we possibly how do we get out of that? How do you get out of that, in a way that is, time sensitive?
Yeah. Thank you for that question. That is one of the big focuses of our rural revival plan. We are at a point where when people think about agriculture benefiting and having opportunities, so much consolidation has taken place that the family farmer, right, is being really left behind. My mom's family had a century farm in northeast Iowa. It's still in the family. And this is an issue that I grew up with, right, being an issue of concern for my family. What is happening, to your point, is you're seeing such a consolidation of the inputs of the companies that provide inputs, right, be it fertilizer, be it seed, and also the companies that purchase, right, the buyers. And so what happens then is that farmers are squeezed on both ends, right? They're getting hit on both sides of it, both in terms of what the prices are that are going in and then what is happening on the out. And then basically what ends up happening as a result of that is you got a bunch of money going to the middlemen. You got a bunch of money going to corporations that are not even based in Iowa, or not having really the profits going to folks in Iowa, and the folks that are really doing the work are getting hit. And so we need to absolutely go after corporate consolidation, right? We should be investing more in the Federal Trade Commission. We should be strengthening the rules there. I've seen how the sausage is made firsthand. I would love to get into all of that and fight that fight. And we definitely need that, especially in terms of agriculture. And to that point, for example, right, Trump obviously has screwed everyone over with these crazy tariffs that are taking place right now. And he's trying to put a Band-Aid on it with, some handouts. Farmers don't want handouts, right? They want markets. They're hardworking people. They want markets. But what adds insult to injury is that a lot of that Band-Aid handout that they're going to give out is actually going to go to big ag. It's going to go to big ag and not to the people that are actually doing the work. And in my view, that's really screwed up. And we need folks that are going to fight on that.
When you say, I didn't catch the exact phrasing, but I think you said you saw how the sausage is made, or the sauce is made.
Sausage is made, but you could be the sauce as well.
What does that mean specifically?
Well,
can you elaborate on that?
What it means is that, I spent some time at a corporate law firm while I was paying off my loans. And I've seen how these powerful corporations have the benefit of getting support and opportunities that other people have no chance of matching, right? No chance of matching because of the resourcing that they have, because of the biasing of our laws and our legal system, because of the fact that our politics is so grossly controlled and impacted by corporate money and billionaire money that anybody else trying to fight has such little chance unless you can find a way to bring everybody together, which of course we're trying to do, which of course unions try to do, all those sorts of efforts. This is another reason why, for me, I am the only candidate in my race to have signed on to the Unrigged Washington Pledge with End Citizens United, committing myself to not taking corporate PAC money, committing myself to fighting like hell to get dark money out of politics. I'm encouraging everybody to do this. There have been a lot of other folks that are running in Iowa that joined, but would like to see my opponent join for this commitment. I think the greatest threat to our democracy today is the ridiculous amount of unchecked money that corrupts our system.
So, first of all, thank you for that, because on the farm they have pigs. When you said the sausage being made, I thought that Tim was about to ask you about the slaughtering.
My mom's family farm did not.
I don't want to know how
my-
the sausage is made.
The very first place
Oh, you
that
wanna
my
talk
mind
about
went to was Abe Froman, Sausage King of Chicago.
Tim.
Uh,
I don't know if you guys remember this or ran into this before, but when Joni Ernst first ran, her whole thing, her whole stump for ad was about it was like a pig castration thing. That was the thing. I don't know if look well, don't look up Google images of it. But that was basically her argument that she was going to go to Washington and make them squeal or something like that.
Oh, I've seen. Yeah, I remember something like that. Yeah, that's when they really started getting crazy. When they found out that you could just be, as weird and dumb and stupid as possible, and people will watch you more. They fell into that orchestra pit version of politics.
Right.
Have you heard of it?
Have I heard of the orchestra pit version of politics?
Yes. Here we go. I got you. So two people are on the stage, and one of the people on the stage in the debate says, I can give you free health care. As a matter of fact, I can make it so that you will never have to pay taxes, get free health care, and all school is free from now until a PhD. And I'll give you $1,000 back. And then the other guy falls into the orchestra pit. It's just bang, a bunch of drums fall over, and someone gets hurt, and a double bass falls over. And the person who's giving everything or has really great plans is not the one who shows up on TV. It's the dude who fell into the orchestra pit. And that's their style of politics.
Right.
It's like,
right.
Oh yeah, well you got a plan for school? Well, I got pigs. Castrate them. Squeal like a pig. And then it's like, did you hear what they just said?
Right. Drown it all out. Drown it all out with all the nonsense. And yeah.
you mentioned ads, and for those people who are too lazy to click, I have your ad, and I want to play it.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's see, share screen.
I look forward to your running commentary on it.
Oh, I don't know about all that.
That's usually after the person leaves. We start.
All right. Yeah,
I'll try sticking around then.
All right, here we go. This is on his website, so you can watch this for yourself, because sound coming through StreamYard, which is our stream platform, is ass.
Yeah. Oh, there's no sound at all.
Well, there's subtitles.
Wait, there's no sound?
No, no sound.
There's no sound?
You want me to voice over myself?
That would be awesome.
That would be hilarious.
First time in StreamYard history, live voiceover. No sound.
No sound.
No sound. You know what?
Well, then,
I'll
do
it.
Know.
I'll do it. Let me see if I can.
Let me stop presenting then.
Let me see if I can make that happen.
Everything is always
You know, what'd be really fun is if somebody else did the voiceover. If one of you guys did the voiceover instead of me.
Oh,
maybe we can even do a future ad like that.
I'm down 100%. All right, let me know if you can see this because
yeah, I see it. I can't hear anything though because it's not
nothing's playing yet. Nothing's playing yet. Here we go.
They say every candidate needs an elevator pitch.
I don't know, bro.
So, I'm Taylor Wettach, a trade and national security lawyer and a 7th-generation Iowan. Growing up in Muscatine, community was everything. Mom worked at our local preschool. Dad is a family doctor. That's my dad, by the way. It was law, because I believe that fairness is an essential right that's worth protecting. As attorney, I fought for economic security, human rights, and the rule of law. But when my law firm caved to Trump's bullying and cut a deal to do his legal work for free, I resigned.
Now, running commentary, goddammit. Excuse me. I was so close to not cussing out once. You heard that?
Yeah, we don't know if he's that kind of guy though, so you gotta be.
I was so close to not cussing out once. Man. Running commentary, I do happen to really like that.
Appreciate it.
What firm was? Oh well, I don't know. Is it even legal for you to say what that firm is?
It's all pretty much out there right now. I mean, it's Simpson, Thatcher, and Bartlett. My favorite part about this, and this was not planned, was that when I say I resigned, all the crap in my box falls over at like the exact moment. We were like, "That's the take. That's the take."
Oh wait,
I resigned. Yeah, sure. It wasn't easy. Offer caved to Trump's bullying and cut a deal to do his legal work for free. I resigned. Sure, it wasn't easy, but real change never comes easy. Neither does fighting for what's right. And that's why I'm running for Congress. I believe in a better future for Iowa families like yours and mine, where parents can safely send their kids to a high-quality public school and afford a good life, where retirees don't worry about their Social Security and Medicare being taken away, and where farmers, small businesses, and hardworking Iowans aren't sacrificed in an international ego competition.
Is that the same guy?
We can achieve all of that and send Marionette Miller Meeks packing if we're ready to embrace bold change and new leadership. I'm committed to building that movement from the ground floor up. Question is, are you coming with us?
Cinematic.
Was the guy in the red shirt the same guy as the suit?
No, but that's a really funny idea. That would have been a fun Easter egg to put in there. No,
Yes.
With the guy with the suit, right? That was my, well, anyway. Somebody later told me something like, yeah, like, you know, that guy, that business-looking guy, like, he really looked like a really grumpy businessman, right? He was just so curmudgeon looking. Like, yep, that was my dad. That was my dad. Thank you. My dad, well, the funny thing is those are all just people in the community. And we got there and we realized that it was shooting in an elevator that was supposed to be me, you know, leaving the firm and all that sort of thing. And we got there and we were like, oh, shoot, we don't have a businessman. And like, we were about to start filming. And I was like, Dad, you still got a suit, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, go home. Can you get your suit on? Can you come back here in 15 minutes? He's like, gotcha. So he ran back home, got his suit, and then ended up in the thing without having, you know, agreed to this in advance. So thank you, Dad. Really appreciate you being our curmudgeon businessman.
That's what's up. That's a really, really inventive ad. And it seems to me like that's the type of thing that doesn't cost as much. Being creative, saving money, right? Who are the people? Yeah. Who else was there? Was those your just all people from the community?
Everybody there was like, so yeah, somebody was like, yeah, like your extras, like they were really working hard. I'm like, I mean, it's just people that support me, that are, you know, friends and family and, you know, the area and stuff. And that's what it was. I mean, just people that were, you know, showed up to do it. So yeah, I mean, I didn't realize that people actually paid extras to be part of their videos, but apparently they did.
That's beautiful.
Anyway, so, I remember when I looked at your website, and the first thing that I see obviously is the ad, and I was like, what is this ad? And I looked, and it was actually, you know, pretty entertaining. It wasn't like just, you know, some candidate walking down the street. It's like, oh, hello, I didn't see you there. Engelbert Humperdinck, and I'm. You're like the elevator pitch, and then I'm in an elevator, and so that's
I
pretty good.
like it.
Thank
Also,
you. Thank
you
you.
knew
Yeah.
it wasn't right wing because there wasn't a gun in every shot. I like that. Let's talk about what's in the ad, though.
Yeah.
In there, you said something about. Let me see if I can remember.
I believe in a better future for Iowa families like yours, where parents can safely send their kids to a high.
Right, and safely send their kids to school, and bringing up that situation. Well, you know, it's not a Republican because they're not, cosplaying as a soldier with a rifle,
Right.
and shooting a pickup truck. Even though right as they left Harvard. Right.
As one does, apparently.
But on the other hand, I understand that, if District 1 is what it sounds like to me so far, Second Amendment is probably a pretty big issue for all sides. What do you have to say about that? Because in the commercial you say, safe to take your kids to school or a safe environment. What's your thoughts on that? Talk to us.
Yeah, I mean, I think, well, to give you a little kind of background for me, my dad grew up hunting with my grandpa. My grandpa was a member of the collegiate national championship rifle shooting team. I grew up shooting rifles as an Eagle Scout. So, I have a sense of all that, right? I think that most people in Iowa recognize that we can protect people's constitutional right to own a gun, but you don't need to have an assault weapon necessarily. You don't need to have the crazy stocks that people have that allow for a person to shoot up a place in rapid time, right? Like, it's crazy that people can do those sorts of things. But I sometimes say is that if you need that sort of thing to shoot a deer, you should probably be practicing more. So I mean, there's a balance there. I think most folks. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about, right? Like, I said something to that effect at an event that was for rural Iowans. It was a bipartisan event. And folks showed up, and we talked about that, and I said that, and people cheered because they know that people can be safe, effective gun owners. The first thing I was taught was that you have a responsibility when you're shooting to make sure that the number one responsibility is to take care of yourself and folks around you, but you don't need to be able to have the opportunity to kill people with a machine gun, right? You don't need to be able to have that, right? We can put common sense protections in place while protecting people's rights. So my feeling is that folks in Iowa understand that. My experience has been that folks in Iowa understand that. And there is a way forward where we can actually protect people's rights and do that.
It's extremely funny the amount of times I hear this. And I always ask it like I'm expecting a different answer. And I think it's because the powers that be, or the people in Congress, or whoever's paying them, make it seem like I make it seem like 70% of the population isn't what you just said, even though I know the numbers that's what it is. But it's
Right.
always reassuring, but a little bit shocking to hear. Like, dang, why would I expect anything different than that answer? And because it's so hard to believe. I guess that comes down to the money, right?
Right. Well, I would say it's that and I think Democrats sometimes get the wrong lesson from when they're looking at, let's say, a place like Iowa. They think that to be able to appeal to everybody, to be able to get out to everywhere, requires sanding all of the edges off of what you're trying to say. But when you do that, you don't make anybody happy, right?
Yes.
My experience has been that folks in Iowa are okay with disagreeing about things. That's where people stand. You don't have to agree on everything, but most of all, people want to know that you're going to speak out on issues, that you believe in something, right? And that we can agree to disagree on some things, but there's some stuff that we we all agree on, right? Like everybody should be able to have a chance in our economy, that everybody should be able to get decent health care, right? These are common principles, right? But I think when Democrats get too sanded off on the edges because they think that we need to thread that needle too tightly, then I think we fail to not only get Democrats out, but I think we also fail to effectively engage with folks who might be independents or might be Republicans and are just looking for somebody to be honest and principled.
Yes, now we're talking. We don't take enough. We don't want to be the ones, because we're living in a society of Nazis, right? That we don't want to talk about Democrats too much, because it's just not useful at the moment. But yes, that part. When they get ridiculous, it's time to kick them out.
Right. The elephant in the room, or the donkey in the room, as it were.
Exactly. But to that fact, without making you say anything about a single Democrat, you have a primary coming up, and you said that like you have it's like a lot of people, right? In the Democratic on the left, or is it Democratic Party, or is it a bunch of independents? What's the breakup?
Yeah. So I think there's maybe 2 or 3 running in the Republican side this time around. Democrat side, there's 3 of us at this point that are running. So there's a new candidate, and then there's me as well as another new candidate, and then there's a person that ran twice before with a no contest primary.
Let me ask you about the Democratic Party machine. Has it shown favors? Has it stand off? Are they? What is the Democratic Party itself doing to help in a race like this, or are they not doing anything, maybe as they're supposed to?
Yeah. The Democratic Party surprises and then also doesn't surprise. Well, in Iowa, the Democratic Party has been independent, and that's as it should be, right?
Yep.
But there are Democratic elites in Washington, certain political actors, and others who would prefer that we don't have primaries, and that we don't actually get to pick our candidates.
Right.
And there is a hand-picked candidate in this race who is running again. And this is not a personal critique by any means, right? But my view is that we should be having real primaries, real competitive primaries. We know that's what people want. We know it's what gets people out. And we know at the end of the day, if folks find out that they're actually going to get to pick their leaders, they're going to come out to vote. They're going to engage, right? So my view is we need that. Part of the reason why I stepped into this race was that there would not be another viable candidate that was going to run against the establishment. And I felt that it needed to happen. I felt that we needed people that were going to fight like hell and represent folks in Iowa. And that when it came down to it, if there was a conflict between the views of elites in DC who might be managing another campaign or funding, helping to help out with another campaign, and the interests of Iowans, we need to have a representative that's going to 100% of the time pick the interests of Iowans. So that's the kind of campaign we've been building, right? We've been nonstop going everywhere in this district, and we think a lot of people are excited for a campaign that's rooted in the real interests and concerns of folks in Iowa and not driven by DC elites.
I guess the last
District
question is
1.
What was that?
District 1, you've got Taylor, who we've got on stream, Travis Terrell, who I think is going to be joining us a little later in February, I think. There's Bob Kraus and Christina
Bob has actually dropped
Bohannon.
out. He's in the Senate race now.
Ah, okay. And then Christina Bohannon is the other one, according to this ballot
that's right.
thing.
That's right.
okay.
Just to clarify for everybody who was wondering.
When is that? When is the primary?
Great question. Thanks for asking. For folks out there who can vote, in the first competitive primary that we're going to get to have, because some people decide to break open the process, you can use your right to vote on June 2nd. And I hope you will use it, whether you're voting for me, whether you're voting for somebody else. It's really important that people will get out to vote on June 2nd.
Here's a question that I don't think anybody really asks, but I'd like to know the answer, because I think it says something about where you are, besides the candidacy. What do you do if you don't win? Where are you going? What would be your plan?
Yeah, well, I am a lawyer, right, who fired myself on principle. Hopefully there'll be other lawyers that believe in fighting for things that I believe in. Would love to go join them and fight that fight. And I met, I obviously know a lot of great lawyers that are fighting the fight here in Iowa. And I would commit myself to fighting that fight with them. But right now, we're committed to winning this race, putting everything into this race. I fired myself. I'm completely focused on doing this. We're running this race like this because if we don't fix this right now, right, we don't know if we're going to have a democracy in 4 years or 2 years. And so we're running and fighting like hell because we know that we need people that are going to fight that fight and are committed to standing up right now. And, for me, when I had to think about this, whether I was going to go and run up against the establishment in a race like this, it was a situation where it was like, well, am I going to be able to look back on this and say that I did everything I could in this moment to make sure that we won against Miller Meeks, to make sure that we flipped the House, to make sure that people have representation that's going to stand up for them and not for folks in DC or for powerful corporations? And if I can't answer that question in the affirmative, then what the hell am I doing?
Okay. So, in the comment section, there's a whole lot of hubbub going on, right?
It looks like there's some representatives in another campaign. Hey, guys.
Oh, okay. Outstanding. So, since the primary is coming, do you guys get to debate?
Yeah, we are really excited to be able to have a debate. We actually have been in contact with some great media out there that traditionally have done debates between the Republicans and Democrats. As I said, historically, there's not been an active primary in this district. So this will be a bit of a new thing. But we were talking with folks there, really committed to making sure that we can have a debate that gets all the candidates that are on the ballot out there in front of as big of an audience as possible, answering all the hard-hitting questions. We'd love to be able to do that, and we're really committed to doing that. We believe that we need to make sure that everybody in Iowa can hear everybody's perspective and can ask those questions for their potential representative. You may have heard, guys, that our Republican incumbent, Marinette Miller Meeks, does not like to show up in the district. She said famously at this point that she was not going to hold a town hall till hell froze over. Got a lot of crap for that. Ended up showing up, having a town hall. I might have gotten taken out of that town hall when I spoke up. Anyway, we don't think that's the right way to be doing things. When I am elected, God willing, with support of folks here in Iowa, I would commit myself to going out to every county and get in front of everybody, not just having a one-off town hall like Miller Meeks is doing.
So you're going to have a primary debate.
Yep, that's the plan.
Do you guys need a host? I might know a guy.
Yeah. Hey, if you guys will have us, I'd love to engage with you guys on that. So, yeah, I mean, my view personally is that, I would love to have, with all the folks that are going to be on the ballot, I would love to have more than one debate, right? I would love to have, any opportunity that's going to get us in front of folks across this district and give folks a chance to ask the hard questions.
Okay. So that I can say that I did my due diligence. The first thing is somebody came in here 40 minutes ago now.
Yeah.
I said, make sure you press him on his story. Another person is talking about not being in the district. Explain it and just let's get past this crap.
Sure. Wonderful. Happy to tell you about that. Yeah. I'm a 7th-generation Iowan from Muscatine. I had the dream of possibly serving my country and fighting for my communities. Went off to law school, was a lawyer, right? And then got recruited to go into government in DC. did not get to go into government in DC because I got caught up in the Doge stuff. My firm got targeted by Trump. I disagreed with the fact that they caved. I decided to find something else I could do because being at that firm longer wasn't going to go and allow me to do good. And I came back home to my home in Muscatine.
But you know why I say that's crap, and I don't mean to, to be mean to the people commenting, but I'm not afraid to ask you that question, or I wouldn't be anyway if I thought you had a worse answer. But it's because I went to your website, and all of your family members are on picture. They live in the same place. You obviously come from there.
And I came
You
back.
obviously were a lawyer, and you obviously did things for a whole bunch of different places. So, duh. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, this is my home. I fired myself on principle.
Bro.
Now I'm fighting the fight for my home.
So the
People will have
Doge stuff.
So,
Doge stuff was happening at the beginning of the administration. You said you moved back there after that, so that means you've been there since April, May.
Came back in May. That's right. Came back in May.
Okay.
But the other thing too is that I've been working at this firm, right, paying off my loans. I've been working with Dems for a long time, right? Because of COVID, I was able to come back home. I'd spend chunks of a couple months at a time back home and have been engaged with Dems and folks in my community during that period, and also for years, right? Beyond that, right? Like, there's a reason why people in my community drafted me into running. It's because I've been working with them on things for years, right? So, I mean, this literally grew out of folks in my community that were like, we need to do things a different way. We need to do things the grassroots way. We need somebody who's going to fight for us and not fight for folks in DC. Somebody who's actually seen the underbelly of the beast and is ready to go to Washington. It doesn't actually represent and have allegiances to other competing interests, can actually go there and fight for us, right? But it was the folks in my community that raised me, that I've been working with for years, that said you should do this. So I did it.
Outstanding.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm standing on the shoulders of giants, right? Like, I'm the front man. We joke about in the campaign that's like a band, right? Like, I'm the guy out front, but like, there are so many people behind the scenes that put me up to this and have been involved in this campaign. Like, I'm the guy that delivers the message and thinks through a lot of the kind of big questions, right? But like, my wife, she does all of our social media. She is nonstop. She's busy as me, if not busier than me. We have so many other folks in the community who have been just working nonstop on this. So I want to give a shout out to all those folks because, I'm the guy that's on the screen right now, but it's really not me. I'm just the messenger of a movement of what we're trying to build here in Iowa.
I feel that deep down in my soul.
That's
I went to the rally for a candidate named Watley in North Carolina, where Donald Trump was supposed to, be there. He was there. I shouldn't say he was supposed to be there.
Was he though? He wasn't all there. He wasn't all there.
I see what you did there. I got thrown out. Like, I didn't even get in I got in the door, and as soon as you go in the door, there's metal detectors there, and they knew exactly who I was, and apparently knew that I was potentially going to be an agitator or disruptive, and they wouldn't let me.
Did they know who you were? Did they have it figured out beforehand, and they just?
Yeah, it was weird. Like, I had no idea I was famous. I literally walked in the door, and I'm 5'9", and I'm a big boy. Like, I have broad shoulders and this little tiny ass neck that sits right on my shoulders, and this guy comes up and he is just as thick as I am, and he walks right up to me, and in my mind I'm like, I feel like I know this guy from somewhere, and he's like, "What's up, Big Sarge?" And I'm like, apparently I know this guy, and then immediately he's like, "Yeah, I'm not going to be able to let you in. You're gonna have to turn around and leave."
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, I got a reservation. He's like, "You've been uninvited."
We know what you do.
I mean,
like, he called me my online handle and everything. So I was like,
yeah. I mean, that's what they do. I mean, I'll give you an example of kind of what we run to here. Before Miller Meeks got peer pressured by everybody to hold the town hall, which she announced at like 7 p.m. on a Sunday, scheduled at 2 p.m. on a Monday, right, the next day, so less than 24 hours, and held it about as far away from where the population centers in our district are. She had done a telephone town hall after she got a bunch of crap for her claim that she was not going to hold a town hall until hell froze over. And I'd signed up for it, but I guess I made the mistake of putting my actual name in the thing, and they figured me out. And so what we found out was that they basically track Democrats, figure out Democrats, that sort of thing. It wasn't just me, right? Like, I'm now a known figure because of what's going on in my life, but other Democrats that are just Democrats, rank and file Democrats, activist types, right? They had them figured out, and they did not give them the information to be able to join the town hall. Now, some enterprising folks that were not known or not figured out by them got me the phone number. So I was able to call in. I thought, oh, golly gee, I might be able to pull this off here. But like, there's no way they're going to pick up the phone when I actually like put in the question, right? I just got on the call and I go +3. They're like, put in a question with +3. So I did +3 and they picked up. And I was like, this is really happening. My wife got this on camera. And so
did you go quiet? Did you, after all that time?
I know I was ready to go. But like my face, like you can see the video because Megan posted this, and I'm like, this is happening. Like, this is happening. So the big mistake, there's two mistakes I probably made here, right? First mistake was I said I was Taylor from Muscatine. They know who Taylor from Muscatine is. I should have said I was Tyler from Burlington. But anyway, that was the first mistake. Second mistake was that I actually asked a real question, right? But I think that the question, I think they were actually going to let me go through with it. The woman said, okay, like, you're up next. Like, I think, because the question I asked, like, I didn't word it in a way that was particular. I mean, it was like a real question. It was about healthcare being taken away from folks. How are they going to deal with this? But I worded it in a way that was not particularly inflammatory. And, she's done a few things recently, kind of as window dressing to cover up the fact that she's taking healthcare away from people. So the woman that got the question was like, oh, yeah, okay, great. You're up next. When the congresswoman says your name, like, come on up and say your question, tell where you're from. And so I thought, oh, my God, this is going to happen. I think somebody behind the scenes saw my name or whatever, saw that I was up next and was like, this is not happening. We're not doing this. And then after that, like, I was supposed to go up, and then the congresswoman is like, oh, we're out of time. We're done. We got to close up for the day, but thank you everybody for bringing us your questions. And that was the story about how I almost got to ask a question to Marinette Miller Mix.
Oh, outstanding. Did they put you on a list, like, so you could be like Big SARS? Are you now is your number now on the list?
They actually let me into the town hall afterwards. So, I mean,
nice.
So, she treated me more kindly than Donald Trump treated you. I'll give her that for at least letting me in the door there. She didn't answer him his questions effectively, right? But she did technically let us in the door.
Outstanding. So I do have one question, and more concern than a question, right? So, the thing that I see on the site, and I'm only looking at the website here, and I'm loving everything that we're talking about. Yeah. But I see two things as far as plans: rural revival and anti-corruption. Now, number one and number two, as a number one and number two, that's pretty daggone good. Like, corruption is what we need to get rid of that has gotten us into this mess. And rural revival, as I'm looking through it, it contains other aspects, right?
Yeah.
But I am a little concerned that there's only two things that you're planning for.
Great question, Doug.
For
Great
federal seat.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
I'm glad you asked me that question, because what we decided was that our congresswoman never comes and listens to people, right? Our congresswoman never goes out there and actually listens to people. And what I said as a commitment was that I was going to go everywhere and listen to folks. I want to make sure that I got to every part of this district before I actually put up something that was a firm plan on everything, right? I want to make sure I had a full conversation with everybody. We are about to roll out what I'm pretty damn sure is the most extensive platform of anybody running, not only in this district, but I bet maybe across the entire state in terms of competitive candidates, right? So we're really excited to roll that out. But we have been nonstop on the road, making sure we met with people, having these conversations first. I've been meeting with obviously lots of Democrats, but we go to towns too, and we have small group meetings, meet with folks who are Republicans, independents, that sort of thing as well, get their perspective. We're really excited to roll that out. It should be coming out January 1st. Oh no, now I'm gonna get my website attacked or something on January 1st. But anyway, that's what we're excited to roll out to folks, and I'm glad to be able to tell you guys first. We're really excited to roll that out. We've been putting a lot of work into getting a list of policies that we think are really gonna excite a lot of people, and have lots and lots of hard hitting requirements and expectations for Taylor to live up to.
Exclusive. So we got the exclusive.
That's exclusive. You got
Nobody
it.
else knows that. That's
You
fine.
got it.
Why
I was
I'm here.
hoping you were gonna ask me that question because I've been looking for a chance to roll that out. So here we go.
Boom. Okay. And give us we have the top two. Give us a 3 and 4.
Yeah. I would say the first thing that I would want to fight on when I go to Washington, the first thing would be repealing these disgusting cuts to healthcare from the big bad bill. Things are already bad enough, right? In rural Iowa, my dad was a small town doctor. I've seen firsthand how rural healthcare systems are crumbling. But Miller Meeks, who's a doctor who took the Hippocratic Oath, the commitment to do no harm, is overseeing taking away healthcare away, the Medicaid healthcare away from 66,000 folks in this district. 4 rural hospitals are expected to close because of this. As somebody in the comments right now said, healthcare is a goddamn human right. It's a human right, and we need to be fighting like hell for it. I would be committed on day one to go to Washington, repeal those cuts. We need to be strengthening, expanding the ACA. What's happening too with the threat to these tax credits is disgusting. We can absolutely pay for all these things. It's just that they want to give tax breaks to billionaires and big corporations. So I'd be committed to fighting like hell on day one for that. And we need to always be working toward having universal health care. There's no reason why in the world's richest country, the world's richest capitalist democracy, that we can't afford health care for all people in our country and in our state.
That is America. Well, until Trump, that was America's biggest embarrassment. That we're the richest country on earth,
right?
And we're the only one in the Western country, as they say, that doesn't provide health care for all.
Right.
That's sick. That was 3. Well, what's 4?
Yeah. And then this is not in a ranking, by the way. These are just issues that are very, very important to me. But, I think really unrigging the economy, right? Unrigging the economy, the corrupting influence of not only the fact that we have monopolies that are out of control, that we have a system where we are cutting taxes for the wealthiest among us while we underfund our safety nets that folks depend upon. But also, again, as I said before, the corrupting influence of money in our politics. That, for me, in my view, is the greatest threat to our democracy. It's disgusting that we have unchecked money that is corrupting our system, and we need people who are going to fight on that. And I think that if we can uncheck, right, if we can uncheck what's happening there with the corrupting influence of money, that leads politicians to vote in furtherance of these powerful corporations, then we could do a lot of good, not only for making sure that people actually have a fair say in our democracy, because that's being corrupted, but making sure we have an economy that works for everybody.
One of the first things, like when you just type in your website, you have your video. Well, except me, because I already clicked the button to continue to the site. But that initial landing, provided that you don't click out of it, is your video and your campaign fundraising. So I didn't get a good look at that. Are you going through Act Blue with that?
We are going through Act Blue with that. That's right. Unfortunately, if you're going to run for Congress, and especially if you're going to run against the DC elite handpicked candidate, you got to raise money. So we've been really lucky that lots of folks believe in the kind of campaign that we are running here. We have been raising money. It's entirely from individuals that backed us. We've had a lot of small dollar donations that have been foundational to what we've done. And we were able to raise in our first quarter over $425,000, doing it the right way. It was the highest first-time fundraise ever in our district. It beat the prior record by 28%, and it put us in the top 20% of all red to blue campaigns across the country. And we did all of that with me being the only candidate in my race to have signed on to End Citizens United's Unrigged Washington Pledge. It's a hard fight when you're raising money that way, but we believe it's the right thing to do. And a lot of folks, I think, have come on board with us in that way.
That's amazing. And go ahead, Sarge.
No, there was a Citizens United tracker somewhere. We had like one of our previous guests, somebody was like, so one of the questions that we got from the audience was are you an IPAC? Do you take IPAC money? What's your view on Citizens United or whatever? There was actually a website, and I don't know if y'all know this, but my booking coordinator, Janet, does a tremendous job at going through and gathering talking points and things. Like she'll check out YouTube videos and other things like that and look at campaign websites and then present us with a briefing so that we know what we're getting into. And one of the links in there was exactly the link that I needed, and I pulled it up and I was like, yeah, here's your answer right here. But I can't find it in my bookmark, so I'm kind of just stalling for time.
What he's saying is y'all can stop asking that question. If they do that, they probably won't be on this show, is what's happening here. So what, and that kind of lost my train of thought there, man. Thanks a lot, Sarge. Appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to be the foil, the comic relief.
What's my role in this?
You're here the guest of honor. Tomatoes. So.
Yeah, no, exactly, right. Anybody running for office should be prepared to get a few tomatoes.
Yes. So I guess I always have to leave a little bit early. And so I guess the burning question is, you're going through Act Blue. You have already committed to not take funding from corporations, right?
Yep.
The self-restraint is awesome, but what's the best way to make that the law, the rule? If you go through Wolfpack, they're going to say, well, it's a constitutional amendment. If you go the Justice Democrats, they're saying it's a coalition of power. Is it a law? Is it a statute? Is it a court ruling? Is it a especially as a lawyer, you may have a really good answer for this. Is it a constitutional amendment? What is it? Which one is the best way to go forward that can actually happen?
Yeah, what can actually stick? I mean, a constitutional amendment is the stickiest, right? I mean, that's what's going to allow you to actually keep things there, because if there is a constitutional actual decision, referendum in that sort of way, then the Supreme Court has its marching orders, which means the people have spoken, right? The second most sticky thing would be, a law from Congress. Both of these things, of course, are going to take a little time, right, to get to. Obviously, the constitutional one would be much more difficult. The more likely one, right, would be a law, right, that comes down the pike. To get there, we're going to have leaders that will fight on these issues that get elected to Congress. We're going to have to take back the Senate, right? Effectively, we probably have to have the White House as well, right? It's going to take, this is a 5-10 year project to get to, but it can be done. And I think you're seeing in a crop of new candidates, right? A crop of new candidates that are coming out, this being a real fighting issue. And what I mean by that is, there are some folks that are already in Congress and they've drank the Kool-Aid. And once you've started, for some of those folks, it might be hard for them to stop taking corporate money, right? But I don't work for anybody. I can do whatever I want. I also don't get money from the Democratic Party in Washington, right? Everything I have done has been what I have raised myself. I can take whatever positions I believe in, whatever positions folks in my community, in my district want me to take. And that includes corporate PAC money. And so when you get these new candidates that are running, right, I think it does give me a lot of hope because they're not bought into the system. So they can make whatever damn decisions they want as long as they can get the kind of support from folks out there that believe in that sort of fight. Mm-hmm. So this ultimately gets us again to where, you got to have folks out there being willing to chip in small dollar donations actively for candidates like this, because it is swearing off of a big thing, right? If you're in that position, you're really swearing off of it's much easier if you're going to raise money. And this is what Republicans and some machine Democrats do. They go to somebody that can give them infinite money, a powerful corporation, and they give them infinite money. And that's that, right? When you're raising money from individuals, and especially you're raising small dollar donations, it's a lot of conversations. It's a lot of time. You're building that out as well. If we just ask for folks out there that believe in that sort of thing, chip in what they can to candidates that are willing to fight on these issues that they know aren't going to be bought and sold for by other donors, by powerful corporations, because they're not already part of that system, because they're making these commitments, because they're showing that they're going to fight on these issues. Not just doing it for me. Vote to folks out there, because it's going to take a lot more than me. It's going to take a lot of folks coming in and fighting that fight.
Well, that was the last point I was going to make is when you tell me that you have 435,000, you're almost $500,000 off of small donors and I suppose some wealthy people who also believe in it, but no corporate PACs. Everyone that does that shows that it can be done. And it has kind of made it okay to, well, maybe I can find a way to make that money. And so just in doing that and just in saying that, you're providing proof, you're providing the test case, right? Bernie did it a long time ago, but he was a one-off for a while. And I think that the proof is in the pudding now. Like, you can make money like this. It takes a little more work, but you can make money like this.
This is, there's many reasons why I'm running, right? I'm running because my future of my home is under threat. I'm running because our democracy is at risk of failure. I'm running because I'm concerned that the Democratic Party isn't providing the kinds of responses that are going to actually get things done. But one of the reasons why I'm running is that I believe that we need people that are willing to make examples, right, of themselves and show that things can be done the right way. I have learned about the law. I've learned about policy in my life. I've advised folks. I don't think I'm the smartest person in the room. I think I know a few things, but I don't think I'm the smartest person in the room. What I hope people will take away from hearing me on here today is that I have grit and commitment to doing things the right way. And my hope is that if I keep on hitting my head against the wall and saying this is how we should be doing things, and just keep on pounding that over and over again, that other folks will say that they can do that too, and that they'll join the fight, be it running for office, Congress, or more local office, be it getting out there campaigning, showing up to indivisible rallies, doing those sorts of things. That's a big focus for me. And if I can get anybody inspired by that, then I've done part of my job.
Let's take one audience question. How do you feel about expanding laws to regulate AI and to outlaw crypto, in your own words?
Yeah, this is not fully fleshed out in our platform yet. So bear with me as we are kind of working through some of the details of this. But yeah, I'm very concerned about the unchecked power of AI, right? I'm very concerned about the unregulated influence of cryptocurrency. I believe, like everything, right, we need to have smart regulations that will make sure that we don't have people's security at threat, people's personal information at threat, and that we don't have a system where people can manipulate others in terms of finances, right? There is a reason why we have effective, proper regulation to make sure we have an economy and a society that works for all of us. And I believe that we need people that will fight on those. And those are at the forefront, right? Those are obviously, frontline issues that we're facing right now. And we need folks that can be real policy wonks, get in there and figure out the answers that people need. But to start with, I think we do need principled, effective regulation to make sure that we have an economy and data rights that are protected for all people.
This is a question that I have asked in the past, and I've kind of gotten away from it for the past couple of candidates that we have. So when you get elected, let's say that they come up to you and say, all right, you're going to be on a committee. What committee would you like to be asked to be on? Like, what would be your dream assignment?
Good question. There are a lot of committees I would love to be on, but I'll give you a couple because, as you know, I'm only going to get to be on a couple. I would really love to be on the House Judiciary Committee because I would like to stand up against the destruction of our democracy right now. I've seen it firsthand. I know where the bodies are buried. I'm ready to fight that fight. I'd also really like to be on the House Ways and Means Committee, power of the purse, controlling our economy, affecting our economy, and be able to use that to make sure we have an economy that works for everybody. Not just the richest among us. And I think that those are the areas right now we're seeing corruption happening in our politics, and we're seeing corruption happening in our financial system, in our corporate system, in all those things. And so if you want to get rid of this corruption, those are the areas you want to be at. You want to fight that fight. And I'm ready to take my background as somebody as a lawyer and somebody that understands our financial system, understands our economic system to fight the good fight for folks who really need it. Because this fight right now is not a question, I think, in my view, as much of left or right, but of top and everyone else.
As a lawyer, what is the most underrated decision, law, overreach, executive order that has come down this year? Because I think there's so much being thrown at us. There can be a list of 99 things, and the Supreme Court has completely effed us over as many times as possible on purpose. But there's other things in there that I'm missing that goes by. What, in your opinion, is one of those kind of like underrated decisions or laws or executive orders that we that really, really, really should be noticed that isn't?
Yeah, this is going to be maybe a little left field for some folks. I'm obviously focusing on democracy all the time, focusing on people's rights all the time. But in Iowa, with an economy that is 22% directly dependent on agriculture, we are particularly screwed by these blanket tariff policies. And, this has been driven by the Trump administration's stretching of the law. We're going to see what happens because it's in front of the Supreme Court. Under a normal Republican biased conservative Supreme Court, I would expect them to rein Trump in. This is at this point anybody's guess because it's not really about the law anymore. It's not really about, frankly, conservatism anymore. It's about what Trump says and how high he tells you to jump. But what's happening because of this is terrible, not only for folks who are consumers. We're all screwed because how do you spell tariff? Well, you get rid of the N part and put an X on it, right? It's a tax. Yeah. So we're all screwed because of that. Our small businesses are screwed because people don't have money to buy things. And in addition to that, they are having their input prices in the first place being raised higher. But, you know, our agricultural economy in Iowa is particularly screwed by this, because what's happening is that our markets are just being destroyed. And once those markets get destroyed, they don't just come back, right? It's going to take a hell of a lot of work to try to rebuild the trust that was destroyed because of what they've done here, right? With these blanket tariffs. Should we have tariffs? Yeah, there is a time and place for tariffs. There are reasons why we have tariffs: to protect certain special industries we need, protect our labor, to protect our national security. But these blanket tariffs that destroy our markets are a catastrophe that is going to have terrible knock-on effects. It's already happening in my state, and we're looking at potentially having a farm crisis that we haven't seen the level of since the 1980s, thanks to Donald Trump. The thing too I'd flag is, right, if, you know, maybe you're not a farmer, right? Maybe you're not a farmer and you're thinking, well, this really doesn't matter to me. It does matter to folks. It especially matters, again, in these agricultural states, because so much of our economy is dependent upon that. So when farms go under, small businesses don't have folks coming in from the farms, right, anymore in those small towns, right? Yeah. Stores are not getting people in those areas, right? You're getting a decrease in demand. That leads the small towns to crumble, right? People start leaving the small towns. They're already leaving a lot of these small towns. That means that our, you know, people pull out in terms of healthcare. They pull out in terms of education. People don't want to stay there. They don't want to live there, right? And then the knock-on effects will get to everyone else outside of rural America as well. So this is a reason why I want to highlight this issue. It's an issue that's really big for Iowa, but it's an issue for all of us as well, right? We need to make sure that our government finally starts following the goddamn law on not letting the government just do whatever the hell it wants on these crazy tariffs.
Love it. And on my way out, I did see something that I forgot to ask that someone else asked. When you get elected, are you for the prosecution of this authoritarian regime, each and every one of them?
Yeah, I'm 100% in favor of within the law, right, using all the law's power to go after folks who are traitors to our country and make sure that they get punishment as necessary within the law. But what's happening right now, in my view, is a complete betrayal of our values, of our Constitution, of really what makes America America and what our country is supposed to be about. And I think we need people that will go in there, fight the good fight, and make sure that we get leadership that actually complies with our rule of law, actually complies with our Constitution, actually stands on our democratic values. And so I would be 100% there in making sure that we stand up against this corruption in every way that we can. I would love to be a leader on that. Put me in, Coach. I'm ready to play.
Outstanding. With that, it has been awesome meeting you. Everything's blowing up over here. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
And I'm gonna leave, but I think Sarge will still be with you for a little bit longer, though. But thank you. Yeah. That was awesome.
Great to meet you, sir. Looking forward to staying in touch. Maybe we'll see you again on this. And if you want to come knock some doors in Iowa, one thing we're not missing in Iowa is space. So we got a spare bedroom for you.
I feel you. I'll pretend to think about that.
Okay.
Really hard. All right, man.
No, I was actually going
that's
to.
The most I could ask for. I appreciate it, Doug. Thanks.
Have a good one.
Yeah, take care.
I was actually going to wrap it up as well.
Oh.
What?
Okay. No, I was about to do that. I was about to leave.
Oh, okay. All right.
But since you're about to wrap it up, I can make it happen.
All right. Taylor, I do want to thank you very much for giving us your time tonight with the various questions that we had, and I appreciate you tolerating our lack of structure.
You guys are bad. This is the most fun I'm gonna have all day.
Your campaign guys asked me some pretty hard questions via email, like, "Oh, what's going to be the structure? Do you know who's going to be on?" And the whole time I'm like, "We don't really do that here."
Well, it's great. That means I don't even have to prepare anything at all. I just can roll with the punches. So Yeah, no, this is a
Yeah.
blast, guys. Thank you so much for all you guys are doing, for fighting the fight, for getting people out here, getting people engaged, getting people fired up. I have watched what you guys have done previously before you reached out, right? So it was really cool when I stumbled into this world where I could actually be on your guys' show. So thank you guys so much for what you're all doing and the chance to join you all.
Hey, he was a fan.
Appreciate it.
Look at that.
If you guys need a post for your primary, I'm there.
Hey, if you guys will have us back and we keep on engaging with you, we would love that. We would love to be able to engage with you on all this stuff. So thank you for what you're doing. Yeah, and hope folks out there, again, if you believe in what we're doing, if you believe in what other folks like us are doing, chip in a little bit, volunteer. We've had lots of folks volunteer from across the country, not even just in the state. Go out, rally, right? Get the word out there. Make sure people know that you're stepping up and fighting. Support not just me, but support other candidates that are actually going to fight the good fight. They're going to stand up against the corrupting influence of big money in our politics, the corrupting influence of elites who aren't standing up for us. Thank you guys all for what you're doing.
Thank you. I'm going to share our live stream schedule for everybody that's watching, just so everybody knows what's going on here. So we've got Brian Nathan coming up. He's a Florida Senate candidate. We've got General Sean Harris next week. He's running in Marjorie Taylor Greene's district. The week after that, we've got Commander Phil Ayer, also running in Florida. And then the week after that, we've got Sarah with Veterans Farm of North Carolina. It's a place that teaches veterans how to operate their own successful farm.
Awesome.
Robbie Roadsteamer.
Hey,
If you don't know who that is, go Google it. He is insane. And I mean in like a good way. The dude is like just fire. Blythe Potter, who we had on this past week, she will be back on the stream. She's running for Indiana Secretary of State. And then we've got Josh Turek, another Iowa candidate running for Senate, and Travis Terrell, who is also running in against Taylor for the primary nomination for Melanoma's seat. I don't even remember her name because she's not relevant to me.
Triple M is all I've been hearing so far. So they were calling her
Yeah,
MMM or something like that.
that's our schedule.
Why are you so biased towards Iowa, Big Sarge? What's happening here? This is ridiculous. I never knew you to be that kind of guy.
I've been asking this. I have two burning questions.
Why
that
should you
haunt
guys
me
support Iowa?
why aren't you
to
biased?
the end of my days? The first one is, why do trans people love Sons of Liberty so much? And it's not a complaint or a judgment. It's just an observation. And why all of a sudden are we interviewing like every Democratic Party or independent candidate in Iowa?
In Iowa.
It's Senate, House. It's just
The trans thing I can
Yeah.
answer because there's just not that many places that are welcoming to them, and so when you're one of them, you're bound to get that response. But the Iowa thing, I don't know.
so we haven't had anybody from Texas.
We gotta get Taylor to know, man.
If you build the venue, they will come.
There you go. There you go. All right, let's do it.
All right. That's going to be our show for tonight. Thank you, everybody that tuned in. Thank you, all the people in the comment sections. Again, thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Doug, for helping me run this stream. Two claps and a Rick.
Does Taylor know?
Does Taylor know? He knows. He knows. You want to do it, Taylor?
Oh, no. I'm following here. All
right. Two claps and a Rick.
Woo!